You're awfully far from your bed tonight, aren't you, sweetie? What brings you out into the woods this late? I didn't think you'd be able to recognize me just from the sound of my voice. Really, though, what are you doing out here? Don't you realize how dangerous the woods are during the winter? You needed to get out of the house for a while. You realize you could have done that earlier, right? Oh, really? You prefer the frigid air of the night as opposed to the slight chill of the morning? Well, I'm afraid I'll have to disagree with you on that. But I suppose everyone has their own opinions about this. Me? Why else would I be in the woods so early? You took all of my firewood, and I certainly can't last the winter without more. But what? Oh? The forest is dangerous during the winter time. And who told you that? Did I? Well, I suppose I was mostly speaking on your behalf. After all, I'm far more accustomed to being in the forest during this time of year. You, on the other hand, I've never seen you out here before. Day, night, spring, winter? Not even once. And that is exactly what tells me that you're lying to me about why you chose to come to the woods at this hour. Well, you said that you needed to get away from the house for a while, and you said that you prefer the cold of the night. But if that were really the case, if you really just needed to get away, you would have stayed in town, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have come into the forest without even a lantern. After all, even if you don't know how dangerous it is in here, you'd need something to light your way, wouldn't you? Oh, come on. You know I'm not chastising you. I'm just saying I notice things. And something I've noticed about you is rather odd. What are you doing out here? The real reason. You got a little curious? About what? About possums running through the leaves? About owls hunting for their prey? What made you so curious? Really? You heard that there was something living in this forest? Well, I'm a bit surprised that this is news to you. After all, any number of creatures could live in a forest. Oh? You heard that there's something unique in this forest. And what might that be? A creature of the night? There are several here. I already listed a few. And I didn't even get a chance to mention the wolves that have been leaving tracks in the snow. Are they perhaps the creatures you're looking for? What you seek is something a bit more sinister. Oh, really? You never struck me as the type to hunt down a monster. Is that what you're doing now? Maybe. And you thought that you'd go alone? At night? Without any kind of light at all? It was a spur-of-the-moment kind of thing. Usually you don't want to hunt monsters on a whim. You do realize this, don't you? But what? You were trying to be a little bolder than usual. Why? Did someone make you feel like Like you weren't brave enough? Maybe just a little? Who was it? Oh, come on. You know you can tell me anything. Who made you feel like you were a coward? I see. And how exactly did he make you feel that way? I beg your pardon? He said that I have to cut firewood for you because you're too much of a coward to even look at the forest? How interesting. And you thought that the best way to prove him wrong was to, what? Hunt down a monster completely unprepared? Well, I suppose that is somewhat brave, but it's mostly just stupid. You really should go back home before you get hurt. You can't turn back now? All right, all right. If you really can't turn back, you're at least staying with me, all right? I need to get more firewood, and while I do that, how about you tell me more about this monster you're hunting? That's all right. You don't have to know much about it. I just want to hear what you do know, if that's okay with you, sweetie. Oh? It's a creature that always hunts at night. What kind of creature do you know? Oh, really? It's something that people are calling a vampire. Do you happen to know anything about creatures like that, sweetie? You don't? Would you like me to enlighten you? Oh, yes. I've heard plenty of rumors about vampires during my time. And let me tell you, they are certainly not forces to be reckoned with. You see, sweetie, vampires lurk in the darkness. They always hunt at night. But do you know what they hunt? They hunt humans. Humans like you. Why do they do that? To eat, of course. Oh, don't be silly, sweetie. No, they don't eat humans. What they do is arguably worse. What do? They prey upon the weak, sleeping humans in villages. They sneak into their homes, bite into their necks, and drink the blood straight out of them. Oh yes, that's exactly what they do. And sometimes they drain every last drop of blood from their victim. They take it all. They don't leave anything left. And then, when the person is found at some point, their body is completely drained of all its life force. There's nothing inside of them to keep them alive. Not a single thing. How do I know so much about them? Well, sweetie, when you sneak away into the forest this often, people tend to warn you. They think that they're protecting you by telling you these things, but they aren't. No, they aren't, sweetie. For you see, vampires and creatures like that, they don't scare me, and they shouldn't scare you. Why not? Well, sweetie, there's only one vampire in this forest. One can still be dangerous. Any more dangerous than a human holding an axe? What am I getting at? What I'm getting at is this, sweetie. You're not scared of me now. You're not scared of me when I'm looking right at you, holding my axe like this. Are you? I didn't think so. Because you know me. You trust me. You know that I'd never hurt you. So why should anything change just because I have sharp fangs and blood-red eyes? Why should anything change when I'm the type of creature you came in here to hunt? Don't be scared, don't be scared. Don't try to run from me. You know better than that, don't you? I can always outrun you, even without trying. And if I did want to catch you, you know that I could, don't you? That's what I thought. What do I want? What do you think I want? Well, yes, I do want blood, but that's more of a necessity for me. So try again. You have no idea what I want. Well, we're friends, aren't we? You like to think so? Well, that's good, because I like to think so too. And do you know what friends do for each other? Exactly. They help each other. Yes, I do want to help you, but you need to help me too. How can you do that? Hold still and don't struggle. What am I going to do to you? I am going to drink just a little bit of your blood. Easy, easy. I won't drink enough to kill you. After all, how would that help you? Exactly, it wouldn't. I'm going to drink just enough to satisfy my hunger for tonight. And then when you go back to the village, people are going to see the bite mark on your neck. And they'll see that you're alive and well. And you are going to tell them that you single-handedly fought off the vampire in these woods. All right? That's all I'm going to do to you, sweetie. And that is exactly what you're going to do after. Why should you trust me? The same reason you trusted me not to bash your skull in while I was holding the axe. Because I'm your friend. And I would never do anything to cause you harm. And even though this is going to pinch just a little bit, you aren't going to feel a thing. And besides, I had to wait decades before I got to see your adorable face. Do you really think I'm willing to risk losing that?